And we are live. Hey everybody, welcome to this live. This is Guy here with KBTrainings. Today we're going to do some labs on GNS3. I'm going to show you how to configure IPsec VPN site-to-site tunnel on GNS3. Here I have my topology that I have today. I was trying to build this live with you here, but I had a topology already created for a live that I did earlier in French, because I read in French and in English too. That's a lot of work. So we don't want to spend time building this, but I'm going to explain to you what this is and what we're trying to accomplish here. So if you like what you do, if you want to encourage me, do not forget to like the video on YouTube. Just hit the like on YouTube. That will be great. And share it on social media. Share it on Facebook and Instagram. So we have some people live on YouTube right now. We have some other people live on Facebook. Hi, Son Altesse. I salute you. Hi, everybody. Hi, Koketso. Hi, Kamel. Thank you so much for joining. So we're going to do this live today, and it's going to be fun. Oh, my God. It's going to be fun. That's what you get when you go live. So, yeah, I'm going to take just a quick minute here just to make sure we have enough people online so we can start doing this lab. And I hope everything is good with you. I hope you are having a good Sunday. I am having a good Sunday doing lives. And it's right now 2 p.m. here in Denver, Colorado. And yeah, say hi in the chat. Hi, Michelle Bizarro. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to like and share the video. And if you don't follow me on social media, I just shared something on Instagram right now on my KBTrainings Instagram showing you that I'm going live, and I'm showing you the behind the scene. I just showed you what I have in front of me here. Wait, what is this? Let me disable this one here. All right. So yeah, I just showed you what I had in front of me. If you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure you are following KBTrainings on Instagram. And my personal account is Guy Bisuku on Instagram. So let me share this on my personal Instagram as well. On my personal account, I mean. Okay. It's done. And let me shut down my phone. So we have about 46 people on YouTube, which is great. I mean, a little bit less than that. But yeah, I'm just shutting down the phone here just to make sure I'm not getting disturbed during the live. But yeah, welcome. And let's get started. Cool. So this is GNS3. We built it last time. We did a couple videos so far. I think 2 videos. The first one I showed you the GNS3 VM. The second one I showed you how I built the FortiGate and the Cisco router here. So today I'm going to show you how to configure site-to-site VPN. So we have 2 LANs or 2 local area networks. Right now we do have, let me just zoom in a little bit so I can show you this beautiful topology that we have here. And I also created another view that I called zoom. So if I do zoom here, I'm able to show you things in a little more detail. So let's talk about this one here. So this is our LAN. This is our first local area network. Let me just go back. So here we have a network with a subnet of 192.168.10.0/24. And this is our site 1. That's why the Fortinet is renamed site 1, because this is the first site for this company. We also have the site 2 with a subnet, internal subnet of 192.168.20.0/24. So what we're trying to accomplish is to be able to access this computer from this other computer. So we need to connect these 2 subnets next to each other as if they were contiguous. And we need to make sure that we can ping from this to there. That's it. So we're going to build a tunnel going from the site 1 to the site 2. It's going to be an IPsec VPN tunnel. And these here, what you see there, the clouds are just management connections. These are connected directly to my home network, where I have my PC or my computer connected, this Windows computer that I'm using right now. And I use this just for management. So I need to make sure I'm able to access the GUI on the FortiGate number 1. I'm also able to access the GUI on the FortiGate number 2. and I'm able to access the internet using the ISP. And this one here is just a Cisco router. I put it here because I didn't want to make it very simple. I like to complicate things a little bit. So here I placed a Cisco router in the middle, so I don't have a cable going directly from the port 1 site 1 to the port 1 site 2. So we go through the Cisco router, so it does routing for us, and it's our ISP or internet service provider. And this ISP is also going to go out to the internet. I'm also going to make sure that these links here, the one going to my home network, are not the one the FortiGates are using to go to the internet. The FortiGates are supposed to use these public links going to the Cisco router. That's where they go out. And that's why I also gave these small subnet. This one is 20.0.0.0/8 for this side, and the other side is 30.0.0/8. So I did 20 and 30 so they show that they are public. These are public IPs. And my private network or my local network is 10.35.0.0. So that's what we're trying to accomplish today. I hope that makes sense, and we will take most of our time to configure the devices themselves, to configure the two FortiGates and the Cisco router so that everything is set up as needed. 1.40 fabric for internet. All right, thank you so much everybody in the chat. I'm glad Diallo, Thermo, Kenza, Herman, Abraham, everybody, thank you so much. Merci beaucoup, Michel. All right, so we are here and we are live. So I think we can get started already. I can go in the Cisco router and start my configuration. Just for, as a reminder, or for some details, this port here is going to use DHCP to get the IP out to my home network, out to the internet. These two ports are going to be statically configured with IP addresses, and this is going to be static. This is going to be dynamic with DHCP. So that's what we're going to do today now. So let's start with the Cisco router. Okay, let me just shut this down and restart the whole secure CRT. So we'll go with Cisco router first. And I think you can see this very well, or I can increase the size of the font here. Let me push the topology on the side a little bit so we can see what we're doing while we're doing it on the side. Nope, I don't want that. So this is our Cisco. What we want to do here is configure this for DHCP. So we're going to do configure terminal, interface gigabit 30, IP address DHCP, no shut. And also, because I want my connections from the FortiGate to go through this router here, I need to do some NATing on this router. So these are going to be NAT internal. So these two ports are internal for NAT, and the gigabit 30 is external. So I'm going to configure that here already. So I'll do IP NAT outside on the gigabit 30. So now I'm going to go on interface gigabit 10, give it the IP address of 20.0.0.2 with a /8, and do IP NAT inside and no shut. All right, we'll do the next one, that is interface gig. Was that 10? Okay, so now we have 20. So I'm doing this side right now. So interface gig 20, IP address 30.0.0.0/8. Oh no, that 2. Okay. And IP NAT inside. That's it. So if I do show IP interface brief, you can see that we have now 10.35.0.195 on our one interface, so the one that is considered one going to the internet. And we also have these ones that we configured manually. So what I want to do now is test if we have access to the internet. Let's see, show IP routes. Yes, we have the default route going out to my router here in the house. And let's try to ping Google. It's failing. Why? I don't know. It should not be failing. Let's try to ping my default gateway. 10.35.0.1. Yeah, it's succeeding. You can see there's one here that went out, but for some reasons it's just maybe a GNS3 thing. So I may need to reboot the VM or something, but I can definitely go out. But this part here is not important for us because this is going out to the internet, but we just want to make sure that the traffic that is coming in here from the FortiGate is also going out to the internet. So I need to also enable the NATs that I told you about. First, I need to create an access list, IP access list, standard local, and I'm going to permit the two networks that I have with the wildcard mask. So if you don't know anything about what I'm doing here, if you don't know how to configure NAT, if you don't know how to configure interfaces, you should probably go and take my CCNA class or CCNA training that I do on KBTrainings.com. Let me show you the link here. To show the link, I may need to go on me in full, and then I'll show you the link. This is the website. This is KBTrainings.com. That's where you can find the CCNA course. It's going really well right now. People like it. People seem to enjoy it. And also, last time in the last live that I did, people were asking for the images that I shared, but I shut it down after the live, which was actually an incentive for people to come live. So if you missed that, I'm going to copy the link and give you that in the chat right now. Thank you, Akin. So in the chat, you can see the link going to the folder where you can download all the images that I used last time. So it should be there for you. It's going to go down after this live as well. So I was talking about KB trainings. Let's see, I didn't put the link in a Facebook chat. Hi, Eli, on Facebook. So I put the link to the chat as well. So if you come here on kbtrainings.com, you can go under CCNA training. I have all the questions answered here about the CCNA. You can go and take the course. I also have some videos that will explain you the whole thing, the experience that you have at the exam and everything else. So yeah, go on kbtrainings.com for the course. Okay, so let's go back to GNS3 and pull up our CLI here. So I created, let's see. So I created the access list. So what I'm going to do is exit here and do IP NAT inside source list local, local interface gigabit 30. So this is what I did, interface 30. Oh, I need to add overload. Okay. All right. So with that, our traffic from the 240 gates will be able to go to the internet without any problem using that link. So now let's go back to the FortiGate. The first one is the site number 1. It's coming up now. Admin without password because it's new. And I set up a new password. Okay, we are in. So right now, if I do show system, let's go full screen here. Show system interface. You can see that we don't have any IP because I connected the port 10 to the management, and the port 1 doesn't have any DHCP server enabled on it. So what we want to do is make sure that we configure the port 10 to receive a DHCP IP, and then port 1 will be manually configured. So I'm going to go under the configuration mode. So configure system interface, and then I'm going to edit port 10, set mode DHCP, and I'm going to set hello HTTP, HTTPS, SSH. That should be enough. And I can just end it. From here, we should have an IP assigned. Let me do the same thing for the site number 2, just so we are ready to configure it as well. So this one is admin, no password. I configure a new password. I don't know, I made a mistake maybe. Damn, it's not gonna be correct. Okay, new password. Okay, so config system interface, edit port 10, set mode DHCP, set hello HTTP, HTTPS, SSH. That's it. So let's go back to the site 1, see if we have an IP. Show system interface. Okay, we have 10.35.0.214 for the site number 1. So I'm going to open my browser here, and you know what? I want to change the user. Let me use this other user here. So if I do this, I get access to the GUI, and from here, I can log into the GUI of our FortiGate. So I'm going to do admin with my new password that I have. What? Admin. All right, so I'm in with the site number 1. I can do this configuration here quickly, give it the name of site 1, and change the dashboard to comprehensive, which is good. Okay. But you also have CCNP course. Right now, I do not have CCNP course on KBTrainings.com, but it's coming. It's coming. It's coming as early as next month. I think I'm going to start a CCNP. I will go a little faster with that one. It won't take me a long time like the CCNA did. So we are here inside the site number 1. Let's go and also get access to site number 2. What is the IP? So I will do show system interface. Okay, 193 is the site number 2. So I'm going to put the IP here and have access to the GUI. Admin. All right, I'm in. One thing that I want to do every time in the lab is to increase my idle timeout. So this is site 2, and I'll do okay. Okay. Don't show me this. Okay. So if you go under setting or system settings, you can increase the idle timeout here from 5 minutes to 480, which is the max. I apply, and I do the same on this other FortiGate here. So settings, idle timeout, go to 480, so I won't be logged out when I'm doing the labs here. All right, and we just configured, or we have access to our FortiGate right now. Yes, oui, je fais un live en français. Le live de français vient de se terminer et la chaîne en français, c'est KP. Un instant, je vous mets le lien de la chaîne en français ici. One moment. So sorry guys, there was somebody asking me if I do lives in French as well, and I'm like, yes, I do live in French, and I just put in the chat the link to my French channel. That's where you're going to, no, that's actually the English channel. To my French channel, it's right there. If you have an issue with that, let me know, but it should bring you to my French channel where I just did a live in French. It's just finished. Now we're doing the same thing in English. All right, so we have access to the FortiGate. Next thing I want to do, let me configure these 2 ports. The port number 1 going to the internet and the port number 2 going to our LAN. So let's go back. This is the site number 1. I go under network interfaces, and I'm going to first come in the port 10. I want to name it MGMT as in management. There's no role or anything, so I should be good. Then I'll go to the port number 1. This is our WAN port. The name is WAN and the role is WAN. And I need to give it a manual IP address, 20.0.0.1. And here it's going to be 255/8. And there's nothing else to configure. It should be good. And then we need to go under the port number 2, which is our LAN port. Just name it LAN, give it the role of LAN. And IP address 192.168.10.1 with a subnet mask of /24. Okay. All right, so this should be good. I can enable HTTPS and pings, or even SSH as well if I want, but you can be very restrictive. So here, because this is connected to my LAN, this is actually, so I just give the IP address to the port number 1. Now I'm configuring the port number 2 going down to my computer here. So I want to enable the DHCP server so that it's going to get an IP when I French or English is the same Ciscology. Yeah, Michael or Michelle, that's true. Yeah, French or English, everybody should be able to get the whole thing. The link for the images, let me give it to you right now. So yeah, I was just explaining that this one is configured with DHCP. We already have an IP here. This one is configured statically. This other one is configured statically as well. But now I'm just enabling the DHCP server so that we can get an IP for the device that we have down there. So let me go back here. But in the meantime, let me just share the link in the chat. I think I have it in my clipboard, the Google Drive link. All right, the link is there. Let me know if it works. It should be working. All right, so we are here. I think all I have to do now is go back in the FortiGate and make sure DHCP is enabled and hit OK. So if I do that and I return to this computer here, I should be able to get it an IP. So if I do IP DHCP, it's going to be discovering, offer, request, acknowledgement. Yes, I have an IP, so I can ping 192.168.10.1. No problem with that. So I'm good from here. I'm going to do the same thing quickly on the site number 2. So site number 2, network interfaces. The port number 1 is our WAN port, and it has the role of WAN with an IP of 30.0.0.1/8. And that's it. The port number 10 is my MGMT or management port. No specific role. And that's it. And the port number 2 is my LAN port. I'm going to name it LAN and give it the role of LAN. Give it an IP address manually of 192.168.20.1 with /24. All right, so I can enable HTTPS pings, no SSH, I don't need it, and a DHCP server, and I'll hit OK to save that. Let's go back into Topology and go in the PC number 2 at the site number 2. Do IP DHCP here. We should be able to get an IP. Hi, Banca IP. Hi, Serge. I hope you're doing well. So we have another IP. We have an IP for our device that is here. And I can also just confirm that I can ping 192.168.20.1. I'm able to ping that. So there's one thing that I want to show you here. So if I come here on the site number 1 and do get router, I want to see the routing table on this device here. Get router info routing table all. So you can see that the default gateway is 10.35.0.1, which goes out through the management port here. So I don't want that. I want it to go out through the port going to the Cisco switch or our ISP. So I'll need to kill this entry here and create a new static route for the static IP. For the default gateway. So I'm on site 1. What I have to do is go under the interface where we have that static default gateway, the management number 1. And what I need to do is remove this option here. If you come down here, you can see retrieve default gateway from server. I will say no. So that will remove the static route that we have for the default gateway. Let me do the same thing on the site number 2. Come here and say no. So if I do that, if you go back to the CLI, do the same command, you can see that now we don't have a default gateway. Now we don't have a static route for the internet. So I can go inside the FortiGate and add a new static route under network static route. I'm going to add a new static route to say everything going out with for which we have no specific destination, send that to 20.0.0.2. And 20.0.0.2, that's the IP of this router here. This is what we have on this port. So we're just pointing it out to the Cisco. Port number 1, and that's it. I'm going to hit OK. If I go back here and do the same command, you can see that our default gateway changed. It's now pointing to 20.0.0.2. So that's it for the site number 1. I'll do the same thing for the site number 2. I'm going to go under management interface. I already done here. So I can go under static route and create a new route and send it to 30.0.0.2 when 1, and that's it. So we should be good. If you want to see the routing from the GUI, you can go under dashboard, network, routing. If you hit here, you can see all the detail that I just showed you. This is the default route, the static route. These are all the different routes depending on the interfaces that we have enabled or connected to our router. Salut Trésor Mukendi. Hi Frankie Bala. Hi everybody on Facebook. I hope it's going well over there. All right, so let's go back to the topology. And the next thing I want to do is maybe just make sure we have access to the internet through the Cisco. I can go under site 1 and do exec ping 8888. It should be able to go out. If not, we may need to troubleshoot a little bit here. It's not going out. We don't know why. Let's see, can I ping 20.0.0.2, which is my next hop? Yes, I can ping it. Why I cannot ping the internet? Okay, now I can ping the internet from number 1 here. It's kind of unstable because it's the GNS3 environment, but at least if I do exec trace routes, you can see that I send the packets to the Cisco router, which is playing the role of my ISP right now. So that works without any problem. If you have any question, you can leave it in the chat. And also, please help me share the video. I do this for you. I do this to share knowledge. So make sure you like the video first on YouTube. And also you share the link either on Facebook or any social media so that we can have a bigger audience here. And that would be great. So we can go out to the internet, and if I want to verify the NAT translations, I can do show IP NAT translation. It's going to show me what I'm translating here. So let me go and ping from the site number 2 as well. Exec ping 30.0.0.2. I ping that without any problem. And if I want to ping 8.8.8.8, I should be able to ping that. Yes, it's also going through. So we are good. And if I want to see the translations, I'm going to see both of the translations from the 195. And we should have, okay, so 195 is our port going out. So we are translating everything from 20 and from 30. So these are the 2 devices that we have, and we do not overload on the Cisco switch. So we are definitely using this one as our internet connection right now. Let me move this back here. Okay, that's good. So now the next step is just to make sure that we have connectivity between these two sites. So we need to make sure that the site number 1 is able to reach the site number 2 on the port 1. And if we have that, then we will be able to establish a site-to-site VPN between these two here. Because right now, if I go in the PC number 1, the PC number 1 is this one here. So this is the PC number 1, the PC number 2. So if I go inside the PC number 1, we can see that if I'm trying to ping, if I'm trying to ping 192.168.20.1 or .2 on the other side, I am not able to ping it. Why? Because I don't have a link going there. All I know is my default gateway. I also know how to go to the internet. I don't know if I can go to the internet from here because I have no policy configured. I can do that quickly just for fun. Let's go under site 1. We can go under policy and create a new policy. As you can see right now, we only have, why does it take this much time? Okay, we only have this implicit deny. So I can add a new policy and say LAN to internet, and it's going to come from the LAN port going out to the WAN port. The source is going to be it should be, anything. We don't have to be restricted. This is a lab, so let's just go source all, destination all, but everything that's connected here can come in. But we should be able to specify, if I created an object for the address on the port number 2, that could have been specified here, but this is also just fine. And I need to NAT, and that's it. Field require, okay, services all. I may need to create one for the traffic that is coming back from the internet, but let's see with what we have here if we can ping the internet. Yes, we can ping the internet. So the back traffic will just be allowed by default. So it's timing out. I'm pretty sure it's just some stability issue, but it shouldn't be a problem. Do we need the one coming back? I don't think so. Let's do internet to LAN. Incoming WAN. No, I think this is not good. We don't need this because this will actually open the port out from the internet to our, let's just do it. It's a lab anyway. So I'll just grab all and all and all and yes. So let's try. Yeah, it wasn't about the policy. It's more about the lab itself, but we at least had a ping here, which is good. So we have another ping there. So I may need to restart my VM, but we are good. Even if I don't have this, policy here, I should have been fine. Well, all right, so we can now see or test if we can ping from site 1. Can we ping 30.0.0.1? No, exact ping. Yes, we can ping the other side. From the site to exact ping 20.0.0.1, we can ping each other, so we are good. All right, so what I want to do now is now configure the site-to-site VPN. And one thing I want to mention is that all of this can be found online. You can find any kind of documentation online for any vendor if you know how to search for information. A good engineer is not somebody who knows everything, but you need to be somebody who has the basics. At least with the basic that you have, you are able to find solution to any of your problem. So I can, if I want to do site-to-site VPN, I can just look it up on Google. And one of these links here, I think the one down here, this link is where it's all explained. They explain you how to do site-to-site VPN. So even if you are studying right now, if you do my course or my training, some of the simple questions can be answered on your own. You just go and Google it. That's where you get. So we have this. I can also give you this link in the chat. This is where you get all the details on how to configure site-to-site VPN. That's what we're going to do now. So you have that on Facebook and YouTube. So I'm going to start here. What is this? What does it, why is it in, you know what? I don't need this. Let me just delete this because it's a security issue for us. So let's just kick it out. Okay, to configure site-to-site VPN, we need to go under VPN, under IPsec tunnel. We're going to create a new tunnel, and it's going to be an IPsec tunnel. I can call it site-to-site going to site 2 because I'm in site 1 right now. I'm going to site 2. What kind of VPN is it? Is it site-to-site? Is it hub and spoke? Is it remote access? Remote access is for remote clients that want to access the network, but right now we're trying to configure a site-to-site VPN, so we just keep this option, and we don't need to NAT. Those VLANs or those subnets will be able to see each other, so we don't need to NAT the traffic for it to work. We can leave it just empty, and we're going to use a FortiGate on the other side. So I'm going to go next. Here I need to put the remote IP of my router on the other end, or my firewall on the other end. It's going to be 30.0.0.1. And here it fills up automatically and shows port 1. For the pre-shared key, I'm going to use Cisco 0, just a fun pre-shared key that I need to use on both ends. You have many ways to do this. You can do it basically using a pre-shared key like I'm doing here, or you can do it using digital certificate. Everything is documented here on the Cisco on the Fortinet website. So here I have Cisco 0 as the pre-shared key. I'll go next. What is my local interface that I want to connect to this tunnel is going to be the LAN interface. The subnet is here. What is the subnet on the other end? It's going to be 168.20.0/24. And that's all I need, and I'll do next. This is the details of what I'm about to create, and I'll do create, and that's it. I have my VPN tunnel. If I come here under VPN tunnel or IPsec tunnel, you can see the tunnel that I created, but everything is down because it's currently down on the other end. So I need to go on the side 2 and do the same configuration. So on side 2, I'm going to come here under VPN and IPsec tunnel, create new tunnel, and I'm going to call it site-to-site for site 1. It's going to be a site-to-site to a FortiGate. Next, what is the remote access? It's going to be 20.0.0.1, and the pre-shared key is Cisco 0, just like I did. This is a joke. I meant to say Cisco 0 Fortinet 1, but yeah, it's just for fun. So I have that here. And next, what is my local interface is the LAN number or the port number 2. The remote subnet is 192.168.10.0/24. And that should be it. Internet access. I don't want my internet traffic to go through the tunnel. I want it to just to go out directly to the internet. So I'll leave it to none. And next, this is the summary of what I'm about to create for my IPsec tunnel. And if we come here, we can see that it's inactive right now because I don't have a tunnel on the other end. If I do, or if I double click or I click here, it's trying to go active, but it won't. Both phase 1 and phase 2 are not active. So if you don't understand what's phase 1 and phase 2, then you may need to go on KBTrainings.com and take my CCNA course that's available at KBTrainings.com. We cover all of that. So let's go back to our lab. So this is not coming up because it's down. I need to go here and confirm my tunnel by hitting create. So I have a tunnel created on here. So if I come back on this side and do a right click, bring up all phase 2 selectors, right now it should be up. If I come back on this end, I go under IPsec tunnel, we can see that we have a tunnel that is currently up. If I double click on it, that's the modify, but yeah, if I click on it, we can, let's see, no, we don't have to see the details. All right, so from here, I am sure that my connection is up between the two PCs. So if I come back to PC1 and do the ping to 168.20.2, I am able to ping it on the other end. If I come here and do the ping to 192.168.10.2 that is on the other end, I'm able to ping it. And if we go back here, we can see that if I refresh this, we have some incoming data and some outgoing data. These are the pings that I just did here. They went through the tunnel. If I go under dashboard, network routing, we can see that beside everything that we saw before, we also have another entry here for the VPN tunnel, site to site, going to the site number 2. That is what we have active right now. So in enterprise, it's very easy to have multiple tunnels on a single device. Like I worked for an MSP in the past, and we had a restaurant with a lot of sites. So all the sites need to be connected to both of the data centers inside the company. So, sorry, we had at least 2 IPsec tunnels going to the data centers, and we may create as many as we want. And the data center, on the other end, they had a big router like the 100F or whatever. So that will be like a concentrator for all the VPN tunnels coming from the site. So that's how you do it. I think that's all I had for you today. If you have any question, you can leave it in the chat. I'll be able to answer, and I'll be glad to do it. And just want to make sure that everything is good on the YouTube side as well. Thank you guys for being online with me. So we just did an IPsec tunnel between 2 sites using a FortiGate. We also threw in some Cisco in the mix just to make it a little complex. But yeah, that's it for this lab, guys. And I hope there's no question. If there's any question, leave it in a comment. Even later, I can respond. But thank you for joining this live, and I see you in the next one. Next Sunday, 2 p.m. my time or 4 p.m. Eastern time or New York time. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Serge. And have a great rest of your day. Thank you, Crypto Packet 0. That's a great username. All right. Thank you, guys. See you next time. Take care.